Yeah, that's you. Hello. This is my first live with my new little desk setup. You guys have been following me for a while. You guys know that I used to have a blank wall and I was going to do wallpaper, and then I ended up just doing some like a picture frame collage thing that I have going on, but I'm happy with how it turned out. So I think it adds a little something. Before then, my like skin and my wall were like the same color. It felt like I all blended in, like mushed into one thing. So it's kind of fun to have it up now. Welcome. I'm gonna let it sit and get a few people on here while I get this up, but I'm so excited you guys are here. And if you guys haven't done this before with me, I'm going to be doing these 3-minute shop audits. So everybody submitted their shops to my list, and I'm going to get through as many as I can. And if you aren't on the list, you can still submit to be added to the list. If you're just adding it tonight, it probably won't. Probably won't get to it tonight. I'm going to do as many as I can, but I will do the rest. I'll keep continuing on the list next week as well. So submit if you do want to be added, and so you can get on the list even sooner, if that makes sense. I'm just getting on my website pages up right here. And so I'm just going to be doing these very brief 3-minute audits, which is just me kind of doing a basic overview. And like a full Etsy shop audit, that's when I do like very in-depth. That's where I'm doing all of the SEO research for you, creating templates like to help you. And so that's a different. So a full audit would be like me doing it all for you. And then a 3-minute audit is just me taking a brief look and making general suggestions based off of what I can see. So I'm so excited, you guys. This is so fun. Okay. So, and then at the end, I'm going to do a Q&A too. So you can drop questions in this little chat thing. I have a moderator on with me, and so they can help answer questions as well. And then at the end, I'll go through and answer questions. So feel free to drop questions in the comments, and I'll get to it when I'm done. And if you guys were here the last 2 weeks, my mouse died right when I started, but I charged it this time. So hopefully it shouldn't be an issue with my mouse dying like last time. So I'm gonna pull this up. And then you guys know that I have always been starting. I did a video on this tonight too. But a huge question I always get on the lives are about these blacklisted words. And so I'm just going to go over a little bit what they are right now. And I can answer more questions about it later, but I did want to just start off with this too. So basically, these are words that you don't want to use in your titles and tags as an individual word. So that means just the word digital by itself, just the word printable by itself, etc. If you're using these words as part of a greater sentence, something like digital invitation for unicorn birthday parties, or whatever, like a long tail alternative, that's totally fine. What I'm referring to here is using these words as an individual word. You don't want to use these ones in your titles and tags because they are very, very competitive. I added this in for you guys so you can see that every single one of these are extremely competitive. And this is on my Facebook group, this whole document. And I also did a TikTok video on it as well. So they're very, very competitive. So they're working against you. On top of, what is your customer going to be searching when they come into Etsy? Are they going to be typing in the word downloadable or just PDF by itself? Probably not. And on top of it, they're all very saturated. So these words aren't going to serve you as much as other words can. So that's why I recommend just staying away from these words used by themselves. If you're using them, again, part of something else, that's totally fine. And also, you're using them on your photos or your descriptions, totally, totally fine. So the only thing I'm saying not to use them for is your titles and tags. Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, I will definitely get back to them later on. But I did want to just start off with this because a lot of times I will refer to these when I'm going through and I'll point out some of these blacklisted words being used. And if you're using them right now, don't feel bad because a lot of people do. Okay, so hello, Haley. This is Organization Journal. I love that you named your shop something so SEO friendly. Great job. I think that you'll definitely want to be adding a cover photo and a profile photo. Etsy wants you to be filling out all this information. They want to know that you're legit. So you definitely want to add this down so Etsy doesn't flag your account and shut you down. So you'll want to add those two things as well as a subheading. You have a subheading right here, but I think you could switch this out for even more SEO friendly words. And then you don't have an announcement bar, but an announcement bar would go right here. And that's where you're going to put an incentive offer, which would be like buy one, get one, 20% off your order of 20 or more, something like that. Some sort of incentive to get them to buy. Good job having sections set up. And you're selling a really good product. This is a product that I recommend selling because it is not too saturated and there's a good demand for it. So I think these look pretty good. This is the one thing I would take off because that's going to tank your search. People aren't probably searching this, you know? So I would take that off, but organization, probably fine. Let's take a perfect. And one thing that she did really good here, this is like the way to do descriptions, is bullet points. Put your disclaimers, your anything that's like a policy, like your return policy, exchange policy, anything like that. Perfect. She has her disclaimers. It only works with Canva. It's not legally associated with Canva. Perfect. And then she pasted her title down at the bottom of her listing to help it give it that SEO. You want your titles, your tags, and your descriptions to match. So she set herself up perfect right there. Let's look at the tags. Okay, so looks good. Again, I would take out this. Unless this is some sort of brand I don't know about, I would take that out. But yeah, these all look good. Great, yeah, and then you just want to match those to your titles as much as possible, and I think you actually did pretty good. Yeah, great job.
Hey, remind people to send an email if they want added to the list.
So then the only suggestions I have for your listing photos are to add a listing video, so you can use Canva animation to do this, and they actually unlocked it. Some of them used to be, you had to have Canva Pro to use all the Canva animation, and they unlocked some of them. So you don't have to have Canva Pro to use some of the animations. So even free accounts can do animated videos through Canva. So I would go ahead and add that in here. Another thing I think you're doing great as is these add-on slides. Etsy wants you to have as many slides as possible. So don't stress about it. If you only have a couple, don't stress about it, but it does help. The more pictures you have, the more longer somebody's going to spend on your listing, etc. So I think you're doing a great job. I would recommend adding a listing video, as well as I recommend adding a shadow around your product so that it stands out. Right now it kind of blends into the white background. So I would just add a shadow. You can use Canva's shadow feature. It's super easy. So great job. Okay. And then what else I was going to say, add as many products as possible. So the more you're adding products, the faster you're going to start seeing those sales come in. Okay, I'm checking these off as I go so I don't lose my place. So I apologize for the delay. Okay, so, and then again, if you want to be added to the list, just email my support team, support@thefasttrackgirl.com. Okay, hello Melanie, this is a darling. This is my favorite font. I love that font, and this font effect in Canva is one of my favorites. I think you did really cute with this mock-up too. Those are really darling. Great, perfect. And I love that you are using something that's very SEO friendly here. That's very broad enough for you to create a ton of different products in your shop still. Great job having, oh, you're in Arizona. Hello, I'm in Arizona as well. Okay, so I would switch this out because people aren't going to read this whole thing. So I would switch that out and just do an incentive offer. Something like buy one, get one, or, 20% off, something like that. Something to incentivize them to make a purchase. So I would switch that out. Good job having all of your section titles in here. And these are good products to be selling right now, especially peaking in January. Yay, you. Look at you. 6 people having your cart. Yay, that's the best feeling. So that's awesome. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm just going to click on this one because it's right there. Okay, so here we go. 100 envelope challenge. Perfect. That looks great. And I love how you're using these lines to separate. That's my favorite way to separate headings. I really recommend it. Let's check this out. Perfect. Not too long. She has her title down here at the bottom. She has disclaimers right here. Perfect. Love that. And let's check it out. listing video, love to see it. That's cute. I love how you added this animation. And you guys can do the same kind of animation in Canva, with Canva. Perfect. Love it. The only thing I would maybe add is like, hey, check out our shop for more. And that's totally like if you want to, it's not required, but I like to add that one. It's like, hey, check out the shop for more, like a little slide. This is perfect. Beautiful. Great job. Let's check out your tags. So let's see. Perfect. So she matched them very well to her titles and her description. That is awesome. That's what we'd love to see. Great job. My number one recommendation would just be to keep adding as many products as possible to crank up your sales and getting all of that reach. And then focus on doing, like, you already know people like this product right here. And then it's just doing it and like, okay, now I'm going to do it with a different font and I'm going to do it with a different element and color, etc. You already know people like this product. So then you just make as many variations of it, you know, as you can to help capitalize on that. So you already have, you know, the SEO that you have is working. So that's awesome. Okay. Great job. I'm so excited for you. Okay. Get this out. Again, these are blacklisted words. We're not using them in our titles and tags, but it's okay to use them in our listing photos and descriptions and long tail alternatives if they are part of a bigger sentence. Okay. Hello, my Clit journal. This is very cute. I love your cover photo, darling. Oh, congrats for being top shop for gift. I love that you have an incentive offer right here. Beautiful. This is the announcement bar. You want to have an incentive offer there. Got your section titles set up. Perfect. I love your mock-up photos. Great job. Darling. Oh, yay, you. Look at this. Yay for you. I'm so happy for you. Okay, this looks great. All right, I'm going to click on the top one. All right. Let's see what's going on. I bet this is probably doing really good right now, too, with the new year starting. This is such a cute listing photo. I love that. I love it. It's like my favorite colors though, so maybe I'm biased, but very darling. This looks good. This is the only one I would say is probably, like, this is a blacklisted word, remember? So I would take that one out because it's just so saturated. It's not going to be necessarily doing anything for you. And then the A4 in letter, you got to think, because this one's doing well for you, don't mess with it. If something's performing for you, just don't, you know, I mean, just leave it. But in the future, I would not use these ones. Just you kind of have to think, like, if someone comes onto Etsy to search for a college packing list, are they typing in A4 in letter? Like, you know, because this is how Etsy's reading it, is like this, as this one phrase. So I would change that. But otherwise, I think you're doing great. Let's check this out. Okay, so my number one recommendation here would be to get rid of any like paragraphs and just switch everything out to bullet points. So bullet point the main features, bullet point how it's going to be delivered, copy and paste your title down into the bottom of your description to match the SEO, and then do any disclaimers like the colors might be different depending on your screen. No, no physical product will be shipped, etc. So those are things that I would add. I think you probably have some of this in here, but because it's in paragraph, people are not going to read it and it's going to get lost in translation. So it'll save you a headache to separate it out into bullet points. So that way people are at least paying attention to it a little bit more, although they are not super great at reading descriptions. Great job. The only thing I recommend here is adding a listing video. I think this would be a really good listing video. Honestly, you could do this in Canva animation. These would all just slide in. That'd be really cute. Perfect. Good. Love it. And then I would do like, you could do like a how it's going to get delivered, like how to use, check out the shop for more. Those are just some ideas to add more, but that's totally optional. I think you're doing great. Awesome. And then just keep adding products. You know that people are coming to you for this product. And so if you're having a product that's getting a lot of sales, that means, hey, that's a product that's working for me. I'm doing good at that SEO. I'm going to create more of these. People are already coming to my shop for that option. So I'm going to make, 10 versions of this, like different colors, different fonts, different elements, different orders of things. Just keep playing around with that. Very cute. Very cute aesthetic. Okay. So let's go. And you know what? I think I'm going to pull Sales Samurai up too. I haven't talked about Sales Samurai for a while. Sorry, I'm gonna pull these up. But Sales Samurai, I'm kind of curious. They have a feature that you can basically plug a listing in, an individual listing in, and they will show you like how the titles and tags are working for you. So let's do one of those just for funsies. Hold on, it's not letting me log in. Okay, I'm gonna move this really quick. My login. My login information. Okay, let me see. Single listing. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the next listing we'll do. Okay, that'll be fun to see. I haven't showed you guys that in a while. So let's do Hello Karen and photo garnish. Very cute. Top shop for gifts. We love that for you. Awesome. Okay, so I would switch this out with an incentive offer. See how long this is? Like I couldn't actually even read it, and not many people are going to click read more. So you want to keep this really brief and just do an incentive offer, or welcome, you know, thanks for being here, whatever. Use this code for 20% off, or you know, your next purchase, such and such. Very cute. So you don't have any sections, titles, so you're going to want to create sections and then filter all of these into different sections. And let's click on one. And you guys know, this is darling. I am so drawn to rainbows. I have had 6 miscarriages. So rainbow babies, like rainbows and babies always get me right in the heart. So I love that. I would recommend, because you're selling a physical product, it's super, super easy to make a listing video out of this. And so I would just take your phone, and it looks like, it looks like you might have used your phone for these pictures. So I think you just take your phone and you just record yourself like flipping through it, record just holding it in your hands, record it, you know, moving around, and then add that listing video. Because Etsy's customers prefer listings with videos, and Etsy prefers listings with videos as well. So it's gonna help both of you. Definitely recommend adding in listing videos to all of your listings. And I would say also add in another slide that's like, hey, here's the shipping times, here's how it's going to be used, you know, check out the shop for more, etc. Great job having size. I like that this is pretty spaced out. It's not in a long, lengthy paragraph, but I think you could take it the next level by bullet pointing things and just being like, you know, what's included, bam, 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 you know, and then you're going to do your disclaimers, like, this kind of stuff's always going to be in a disclaimers thing, bullet point it, and then at the end you're going to paste your what is this called? Oh my gosh, title. I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. So this thing, I would recommend, this is a really short title. You want to have as many words in your title as possible. And I'm guessing that these are probably pretty saturated. I don't know much about this niche, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably the case. This is Marmalade. This is an SEO website. This is where I do all of my SEO research. So if you see me using that, that's what this is. I have a free trial linked in my bio for you as well. I definitely recommend taking advantage of the free trial. It doesn't take any credit card information or anything, and this is really important information to understand. So if you type in scrapbook, this is what you're going to see. It's getting good searches, good engagement, but we're dealing with a ton of competition. It's also really cool to see this. This is the engagement over time, when it's going to peak throughout the year based on historical data and current predictions. So right now, you should probably be feeling pretty good, it looks like, and it's going to take a little bit of a decline, and then April's going to be your month, baby. So this is really good information to have when you're thinking about selling your products, like which products to focus on first. Like in August, this is probably a really sucky product to start selling. If you're just getting on the platform in August, you probably feel a little discouraged, but if you're just getting on, you know, in April or May, you feel great. So this is really cool to check out when you are picking your tags and picking out what products to sell, just because if you're feeling a little discouraged, maybe it just comes down to the time of year. You never know. So we're going to look at long tail alternatives. So instead of scrapbook, here's some other options that people are searching for. And then if we look here, these ones are not competitive. So we love that. They're getting good engagement. They're kind of on the lower end of searches, but this is still better than what you're using right now, because you're actually going to be able to show up in these searches a lot easier versus what they have there. And so yours would follow great under here, under the pre-made scrapbook album, scrapbook page kits, etc. So there's some good information in here. I would also add in like baby shower gift, newborn gift, expecting mother gift. So really focus on that gift angle, because I think that's really where this is going to come into play. Let's check out your tags. Okie dokie. Okay, great. Yeah, so look, right off the bat, I can tell you like all of these are insanely saturated. Pretty much every one of these. So I would switch out all of your tags to these things that we found on our SEO research over here. So I just come into Marmalade, do some searches like baby shower gift, baby girl shower, etc. Switch all of your tags out and then match your title to your tags, and then put those in the bottom of your description as well. And then add those tags into your section titles over here, and do that for all of your listings. And you're going to be golden. And I really like how you're doing these pictures. I think those are going to perform a lot better for you. These ones are a little bit distracting. The lighting's a little bit darker. So I think that it's really showing how much you've grown like as a seller, being able to remove the background and create even better lighting. So that's awesome. Great job, Karen. Okay, X out of this. Oh, I forgot to do a Steel Samurai listing. Dang it. Okay, we'll do that on the next one. Okay. Hello, Starbright Vent. Very cute. So right off the bat, I would switch this subtitle out to be something SEO friendly. So it looks like you're selling, what does it say? Vintage items. So you say, you know, vintage t-shirts or whatever. You want to kind of list things that you're selling in an SEO friendly way in your subheading. You have an announcement bar, which we like, but let's add an incentive offer in here. Something like, you know, like I've said, buy one, get one, 20% off, whatever, something to incentivize them to make an order. Some people will also put an incentive offer on their cover photo, which is totally fine too. Good job having section titles. These are all really saturated words, except for maybe that one I'm not sure about, but the rest of them are. So that's something you can consider doing, is switching these out to be more SEO friendly to give you that extra boost. So just something you might consider doing. Okay, let's check this out. Very cute. Okay. I'm going to click on your top listing. That's a cute picture. So I would definitely, there's two ways to do this, and I've heard it from both ways, but when you're selling multiple colors of something, a lot of people say that it performs better to have it on each one a different listing. It helps you have multiple listings, like it helps you have more listings on your shop, and people are picture based, so people are gonna click on it based off of the first image. And so if they're searching for a pink one, even though you have a pink option, they're not going to click on your listing for the pink option because they don't see the pink option. So I almost recommend trying it out, trying to list each color. So each color would be a different listing. I know it's annoying when you're doing print on demand because you have to create a different listing for each, but I'm just wondering if it'd be worth trying to just see how that performed. Totally suggestion, you don't have to do that at all, but just something to consider. And then I would definitely add more listing photos because you just basically have this one over on it, but like more mock-ups. So go on to Etsy. We love supporting other Etsy sellers. T-shirt. Oh gosh. Yeah, I know how to spell. Okay, so here you go. You can go on to Etsy and buy these t-shirt mock-ups. Super cute. See how cute your design would be on something like this, like very casual. You could have, if you are selling multiple colors, you could do something like this that shows multiple colors for the one picture. You can get her entire bundle, shirt bundle, all of her stuff for like $25. So it's pretty affordable and super aesthetically pleasing. So if you're doing print on demand products, I really recommend putting these kind of mock-ups into your listings, just because it makes it look a lot more aesthetic, naturally pleasing, all that kind of stuff, where these look very obviously are computer generated mock-ups, you know? Nothing wrong with them. I just think that adding those other ones in next to them helps push your listing to the next level. So, okay. Let's do this. So I'm guessing all of these have really, really low search volume. So Etsy's going to be reading this listing like this. This is one phrase for the way you wrote it. So let's check it out. And t-shirts are like one of the hardest things to, you're your only competition. Yeah, you're the only listing using that phrase. So yeah, you're really low search volume there. So I would definitely go through here and try to do some SEO research and find even better SEO that's going to help you get more sales. And of course, if you are selling something that's more saturated, you can always supplement that with Pinterest. Use Pinterest to make up the difference for that traffic that's not going to be coming organically through Etsy. That's just an idea. Let me grab this, by the way. I haven't even looked at your tags yet, so let's pull that up. Okay, good job matching your titles to your tags. We love that. Again, I just think that these are really have almost like no search volume is what I'm guessing. So it's going to be hard to get any search because people aren't searching it enough. And then I would definitely recommend breaking this out into bullet points. It looks like this is just the automatic one generated by your printing provider. So I would just kind of break it up into bullet points in order to make it look a little bit more digestible. Also, good job having your disclaimer right here. And then I would definitely copy and paste your title down into the bottom. Or is that what you did some of it right here. So I would add a whole thing at the bottom and then match it to your tags. We're gonna do this. I haven't done this on a live before. So let's see. So this is Sales Samurai. I pasted the listing in here and it's going to give me all her tags right here as well. And it's showing me the search volume for all of these tags right here. And you can see that this one has like no search volume, no click-through rate. So this one's not getting her any traffic at all, 0. So we definitely want to take that one out. And it's saying actually these other ones have okay search volume. These ones are getting you some okay volume. These ones not so much. So, and then it's going to also tell you right here, it's telling me you aren't using your titles or these tags in your title, in your description, except for this one. You're using in both. That's kind of cool information to have. So if you're ever unsure about your tags, it's kind of cool to plug your listing into here and it will just rank these for you really fast. Okay. So great job. I think the number one thing I would focus on is just nailing down your SEO and adding in some more like pictures, possibly separating your listings by color. Okay. Oh, we never did look at this, huh? We never came back. Come into Marmalade and come down here to your long tail alternatives so you can start finding some different long tail alternatives to use that are better. Okay, so let's do this. Hello, Julia with Stationery Card and Card Co. I definitely recommend adding a cover photo right here. We just want to have as much information in there as possible so that Etsy doesn't shut us down. Then I would switch this out to be something more SEO friendly because people aren't going to come in here and search this, right? They're not coming onto Etsy and copying and pasting this into the search bar, you know? So let's switch that out for something that they are searching. Great job having your, incentive offer, your announcement bar. And I love that you use the emojis. A lot of people don't know you can use emojis on your Etsy shop. And I love that. Very eye-catching. And yay, incentive offer. And it's a holiday-driven incentive offer. We love that. Great job. Good job having your section titles. Very cute. I love your designs. Darling. Okay. Let's click on this. Cute. I like how you had the envelope mock-up in there too. You only have 2 listing photos, so I would definitely recommend adding several more. Do a couple different mock-ups. You can just do those in Canva with the shadow. You can show like different colors, being like, hey, you could change the colors. Is this a Canva template? Let me see. Okay, yeah, so you could say, hey, you can change the font. You can change the colors, like make a slide about that. You could put the Canva logo. Let me see. Yeah, you could try putting the Canva logo right here or something right here where people can see right off the bat that they can edit it in Canva. And then another slide about like, hey, it's not going to be, this is a digital product only. Check out the shop for more, and then create a listing video using Canva animation. So you could totally crank a bunch of listing photos out for this really fast. Good job watermarking it though. A watermark is when you see this little text right here, this preview. If you are familiar with a watermark, that basically just means that nobody can right-click save and steal it without paying for it. So if you're ever like uploading a high-resolution file of any kind as a listing photo, you definitely want to watermark it. And you can just do this in Canva. I did a tutorial on this on TikTok a few videos back. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, so I'm thinking invitation, eucalyptus, and green. So Etsy's reading this like this is one sentence with the way you wrote it. which I'm imagining doesn't have much search volume. So I would rephrase this to have kind of like those lines or something to separate these things a little bit more clearly. Let's check this out. I'm honestly not sure about if this, I'm guessing it would either have like really low search volume is what my guess is, but let's see. Takes a second to think about it. And this is Marmalade. It's my favorite SEO research one. Okay, so yeah, there's hardly any searches on that exact phrase. And that's how Etsy is reading it. You can see it, there's like no traffic. And then it looks like there are some listings using it. There's about 120 listings using it, but it's not getting searched very often. So it looks like that there's some, and there's not like a ton of like good alternatives coming up. And sometimes when that happens, you just have to type in things individually. But I would just definitely revisit your SEO and see if you could even take it to the next level. You have a lot more room there too. You could add even more words. Okay, let's check this out. Okay. So these ones, a cutie is coming, are like very different than what your listing is. So using those tags might actually hurt you, because if people are searching for this and then your listing comes up, they're not going to click on your listing because it's not what they're looking for. So I would consider switching these ones out since it's not directly related to what you're selling here. I think that's spelled wrong unless that's something, maybe it's fine. I don't know, maybe I'm just staring at it then. So yeah, I would definitely revisit your SEO. I think that you could take it even to the next level. I love that you did the bullet points. I love emojis for bullet points, so cute. Perfect. You have all the information here, no long paragraphs. Awesome. And let's definitely, did you say this? I just want to make sure you have like this is not, oh yeah, here we go. Perfect. All your disclaimers. Awesome. And then copy and paste your title down to the bottom once you switch all your SEO. Cute. I think you have a really cute aesthetic. I'm excited to see where you go with this. It's really cute. Okay. These are blacklisted words again. These are the words we're not using in our titles and tags. And I did a video about this on TikTok earlier this evening as well for you to refer back to. It's also posted in my Facebook group. Okay, hello Renee with Sarcastic Art by Renee. This is cute. So let's see. So I would rephrase this, sarcastic art, because people aren't coming on Etsy and searching this. So I would switch this out for whatever you're selling. So like mugs, like some sort of holiday mug, like a gifting mug, something like that. Some sort of way to like make this more SEO friendly. And then add an announcement bar right here with an incentive offer. I have a video tutorial on how to do that on my feed. And good job having your section titles. And then you only have one featured item, and so when your shop comes up, it looks like you only have one item. So I would either add like all three of them, or I think it might be four, all three or four. Yeah, it's all four of your featured ones, or just remove this one so they're all the same. Otherwise, when your shop loads, it looks like you just have one item. And then, okay, so I'm gonna click on this. And I love that you're doing a Valentine's item, because holiday items are definitely the best way to get orders when you're first getting on Etsy. Good job having lots of different mock-ups. You have this one and this one. And I would again add those extra slides like, here's shipping time, production time when you're doing print on demand. It's 3 to 5 days production, then 3 to 5 days shipping. Plus you're doing the what am I saying? Plus shipping. Plus you want to tell them that, there might be, you're not doing returns or exchanges, anything like that. So you definitely want to make slides about that so that people know up front, especially with print on demand. People expect Amazon, speeds. And when you're doing print on demand, there is that production lead time. So you just want to make sure that people know up front so they don't get frustrated. Here, a lot of these are really, really saturated. So I would switch out all of these tags for some long tail alternatives that are going to get you even more traffic. Let's check this out. Okay, this is good. I would just bullet point these. So like about this mug, you maybe even put an emoji right here and then bullet point all these so they stand out a little bit better. I would take this out. I think care instructions is really awesome to have in here. I would get rid of this, and I would bullet point this and bullet point this. This is a great point. A lot of people doing print on demand don't realize that when people order, sometimes they don't know if their Etsy address is up to date, and the item will ship to that address, and then they're upset because they're like, wait, I didn't want that to go to that address. I didn't realize that was the address on file. And that's on them. Like, Etsy will back you up if that happens. Like, that's their fault, but it's just, you know, the customer is upset. It's stressful. So this is a really good disclaimer to have on here. If you're selling digital products, this is not an issue, but if you are selling physical products, it's a disclaimer I recommend having, or at least putting it in your shop policies. And then I would copy and paste your title down into your description. Let's look at your tags. Oh, I gotta refresh. This is Allura, by the way. I always get a lot of questions about that. This is an Allura plugin, Chrome plugin. Oh, we already looked at your tags. Never mind. Sorry, that's just me. Okay, great job. So yeah, I would just really focus on your SEO research there. Is our blacklisted words. Okay, hello, Alexandra with Sunny and Gray Shop. I love your logo, very cute. I would add a cover photo in here. Just want all that information as possible so that you don't get flagged. Disney products in a pro. Did we do this one last year? Did we do this one last week? Or maybe not. Okay, never mind. Maybe. Sorry if I already did this one. And then, so I would switch this out to have a, or at least if you're not going to switch it out, then I would do a, incentive offer. I think it's really good that you're having the major delays with USPS, because that is something that we really want our customers to be aware of. So maybe putting that and then having your incentive offer on here, or even consider when you add your cover photo up here, you could put an incentive offer in there, or like your call to action to like go to Instagram. So those are some ideas. You can add all of that information right at the top of your set of your shop. And then this one I would switch out to be more SEO friendly. And this emoji right here is actually gonna, I don't know how that's gonna affect you on the subheading area. I'm not sure on that. I think it looks cute. I'm just not sure how Etsy will read that, but I think it's really cute. I would switch it out for sure. Good job having your list section titles. These are all really, really saturated words. So I would consider switching these out for something a little bit more specific with your long tail alternatives. This is really cute. I'm obsessed with this. That's so funny. Way cute. I love your aesthetic. Really cute. I love pink. So here we go. I like that you have a size chart. A lot of print-on-demand people don't put size charts on, and I think this really, really helps a lot. So I think that's awesome. And I think I would recommend trying to add some sort of listing video, even if it's just like, hey, this is the shipping time, or check out the shop for more, just some sort of listing video that you can add on there. If you don't have the product in person, I would recommend doing that. And then I would recommend adding even more mock-up photos. You want as many photos as you can. So I like that you have this, check out the shop a little bit. And then you can also put in, like I showed you earlier in the video, if you were on here, the mock-ups that you can buy on Etsy to add even more mock-up photos. You just really want to paint that vision of what it could look like in their life. And so having more mock-up photos keeps them on your listing longer, and it's going to help you have more sales. So let's see. So Etsy's going to be, you have no punctuation in here. So Etsy's just going to be reading this whole thing like this. So as a one phrase. So I would definitely put some punctuation or some lines in here to separate this out in order to have it be more SEO friendly. Love that you're bullet pointed up. Perfect. I would definitely always want to copy and paste your title to the bottom of your listings for that SEO. You guys saw over here in Sales Samurai, this is an Etsy SEO research website, and they rank every single listing on those things, like in description, in the title, and on your tags. So tags, title, and description, they rank that because that's how important it is for them to match. So you always want to just post that at the bottom. And then let's check out the tags. Oh, and I would also add on here, sorry, I forgot to add your return policy, your exchange policy, your shipping times, all of that, especially with the delays, put that on every single listing. That way it's very clear to your customer up front, so you don't have very many, as many upset customers if something like that happened. Okay, cool. Yeah, and so you don't have any of these tags in your description at all, so I would definitely put those in your description and then put as many in your titles as possible. Cute. Love that. I'm so excited for you guys. These are blacklisted words again. And remember, I'm just doing a brief audit. Like when I'm doing a full audit, that's when I'm going in and I'm doing all the SEO research for you. Like right now, I'm just saying like, hey, you should go look at your SEO. But when I'm doing the full audit, that's when I'm like actually looking at the SEO for you and doing all of that work for you. Okay. Hello, real estate create. Is that good? That's good. Good job having an incentive offer. Perfect. I like the emojis. I feel like that's going to be my new recommendation. I really like the emojis at the announcement bar level. Oh, wow. I love all the sections you have. That's awesome. The more sections, the better. Like she's just put all of this SEO on her account, and you have to think like when people come to search for things on Etsy, she's already indexed all of these. So Etsy knows, oh, this customer is looking for seller questionnaires, and I know this shop has 8 seller questionnaires. I'm going to show them this shop. So definitely having these really specific section titles is a total win. Okay. Let's check this out. Great. This is the only one I'd probably take out. Let's check this out. Actually, I don't know. Maybe because it's part of a phrase, it would be fine. But most of this looks good. Okay. Check this out. Bullet points. Perfect. This is a lot of paragraphs. So I would switch this out to be as much bullet pointing as possible. Skip any long paragraphs like this. I mean, I like that you're trying to make this a selling point right here. This is a cool selling point, but I would put that in your listing photos. This is going to get noticed on your listing photo, but nobody's reading it in the description. So I like that angle. I would just move it to your listing photos. Same with this. People are not going to read this, so I'd just take that out. And then I would definitely, oh, perfect. Yeah, I love this. Is this a Canva template? Oh, no, it's not a Canva template. Okay. Okay, great. Yes, I love that you have your return policy, exchange policy, and good job protecting yourself with a terms of use. Love that. Okay. So I would definitely cut all of this right here. I think that's getting lost in translation, and I would just skip to all the other stuff that you have, and then add some of your selling points into your listing photos. And let's look at these. You could add a listing video really easily inside Canva. So I would use Canva animation and add listing videos to as many of these as possible. I really like that you like outlined the details. That's really cool. Yeah, I love how you're like highlighting that, like calling those to the eye like that. Perfect. Awesome. And then you could also add like a, hey, check out the shop for more. Let's check out the tags. Okay, so I think you could definitely improve these even more. So like the word template, download, PDF, downloadable PDF, letter, and print ready, I would take out all of those. Those are a lot of our blacklisted words, so they're just not going to be serving you. So as using them as those standalone words. However, if you're using them in like a bigger paragraph, like digital real estate flyer as that phrase, that's different. But using these as standalone words are just not going to be as good as we could have them. But it looks like this listing's performing really well for you. So if something's performing well for you, don't touch it. Otherwise, Etsy's just gonna like reset it. So I would just say moving forward, try out some new SEO and see if it performs even better for you. But it looks like that listing's performing really well already. So I would honestly say don't touch it if it's performing well. Great job. This is really cute. And definitely just say, hey, like try to add some listing videos, consider rephrasing your, your descriptions, and consider looking at some different SEO. Yeah, so this PDF realtor form, it's not getting any searches or very, very little. So I would get rid of that one. But I think you're doing a great job. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, cute. Hello, Miranda. I love this. That's super cute. Did you hand letter that? Looks hand lettered. So cute. Cute. So this is really cute, but I would switch it out to be SEO friendly because no one's coming to the Etsy and searching this. So let's switch it out for something that they are searching so that it can help your shop come up even more often in that search. And yay, you! Top shop for gifts. We love that for you. And I think you could add even more. Like these are really broad section titles, and kind of like I was talking about with the last shop, the more specific you are in these section titles, the more indexed you are on those very specific products on Etsy. Because you have to think like there's, you know, thousands upon thousands of listings that come up under stickers and apparel, but, you know, coming up under very specifically, if you're like, you know, Disney stickers, you know, that's going to be even more micro niched, which is going to help you show up. So just a recommendation to try to be a little bit more specific on your section titles, but that's awesome that you have one. And then I also recommend adding an incentive offer, something right here. Sorry guys, my throat. When I like talk for so long, my voice starts cracking. Add some sort of incentive offer so that they can be even more incentivized to buy. It's cute. Okay, let's check this out. This is really, really cute. Oh, I love that. Okay, that is a darling. Did you take that yourself? That's such a cute idea. You could even Photoshop these people out if you wanted to. I know how to Photoshop. send me an email if you want. Okay, so you can add even. I would definitely recommend adding even more listing photos. This looks like a digital mock-up, so you could create even more different versions of it. Just you want to have all those listing photos. And then if you have the sticker in person, you can just like hold it, you know, in good light in front of a camera, in front of a window with some good light, and just make a quick little video of it on your phone and stick it right here in your listing videos. Or if you don't have it in person, you can just use Canva animation to animate this. So I definitely recommend adding in listing videos to these, and then adding like, here's shipping time, or is this digital, or it looks like a real sticker. Okay, so shipping time, production time, you know, check out the shop for more, etc. So you could definitely increase your how long people are spending on your listings just by adding more listing photos. And I honestly think it would really help. I mean, not that this listing obviously is doing great for you still, but I think it would add even more. It doesn't look like you have all 13 tags, so definitely max out to make sure you have all 13 tags. All of these are saturated, so I would consider, if this listing is performing well, it looks like this listing is performing well for you. So if it's doing well, then don't touch it. But I would definitely, going forward, like make sure you have all 13 tags, and then I'd switch all of these out to be even more SEO friendly. It does look like, actually, I don't think, I think you match some of them over to your tags. And then I would definitely bullet point this. So good job pasting your title down at the bottom. Yay, we love that. And then I would take this out just because people don't read descriptions. So you want to stick to very, very like bare bones, like bullet points, just what they need to know. Same with this, I would take that out. So I would just bullet point, like, here's what you're getting, here's what the shipping time is, production time is, and then here's what my disclaimers are, like no returns, no exchanges, it's your responsibility to have the right address, colors may look different depending on your screen resolution, etc. So that's what I would do for that. And you can have so many like cute reviews of people doing like pictures for you. I bet you could message them and be like, hey, can I use your picture in one of my listing photos? And I bet they would totally let you. So that's another idea to add even more listing photos for you without even doing the work. Say already took the pictures for you. Very cute. And then with your shirts really quick, I recommend doing those mock-ups like I showed you guys earlier in the video where you can buy mock-ups on Etsy. I would do your shirts with those. I think they would stand out even more. Super cute. I'm super excited for you. I'm obsessed with this branding. So cute. Okay, very retro, very in right now. Okay. Okay, hello AR Party Printables. So let's take a look at this. And actually looked, I think, did I do this one last week? Maybe not, sorry if I did this one already. Okay, so I would switch this out for something that has more of an incentive offer, something like, you know, something % off, buy one, get one, etc., something like that right there. I think you can make this even more SEO friendly. It's pretty good. I just think you could do it even better. And then again, I think you could get really micro specific about your section titles to help with SEO. And like you have 269 in the birthday category, and there's so many listings under that birthday category, so you could make them even more specific and file them under those. If you do make them specific, you want to use Marmalade. Dang it, I exited Marmalade. You're going to want to use Marmalade to make sure that they are actually going to be doing well. So let's see, girl's birthday. And this is a great way if you're like, I know I want to sell a certain kind of product, but I want to know what under that. Like I want to sell a girl's birthday invitation, but you're not really sure what you want to sell under that category. You can do something like this in Marmalade, type it in, and it'll give you some suggestions. So that was not a good one. Not very much search and super competitive. Don't use that one, everybody. But let's look at what's giving us anything else. Okay. Very, very specific. See, this is what I'm talking about, like very specific things. These ones just happen to not be very good, except for first birthday invitation for girls. That one's okay. But otherwise, you can come in here and type in a bunch of different things and try to find ones that are going to be even better for your section titles. Cute. Okay, I'm just going to on this. This is really cute, and I like that it's something that you have in real life, and because it's something you have in real life, you can do it with a listing video. So while you're taking this picture, just take your phone and like kind of, you know, move it around with your hand or something. Just do it very, very slight. It has to be only 5 seconds, a little listing video to kind of add to your listing. Cute. You could even like just take your camera, like while you have this set up, just take your camera like this and just kind of like pan over it like this, and that's a listing video. Bam. And then I would recommend adding like even more slides like, hey, you know, here's the features of it, like change it out for your own text, you know, follow us for more, here's how to do it, whatever, etc. Anything like that. Like nothing physical will be shipped. I think this is digital only, right? It's digital only? Yeah, printable. Okay, yeah. So something like that. I think you could add even more listing pictures. Etsy just wants to see more. Like it's not, they have said like, we're not going to not give you traffic if you don't do it, but it does help. Just from their own research, they just say like, hey, listings with more photos perform better. Not necessarily like Etsy's not going to give you views, just like they're like, hey, with our studies, it's done better. Also, for some reason, it says there's only one in the cart. And since it's digital, it should be like unlimited. I don't know if maybe that was an accident. I don't know. This is a really long description, so let's check this out. So I would bullet point all of this information to just high level. So bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, all of this stuff, just break it down into that. Perfect. Yeah, this is great. I love that. And you can always do this. So creating coordinating designs is such an easy way to get more sales. And if you have coordinating designs, that's the perfect thing to put for your listing picture up here and be like, hey, check out the full package on our shop, and redirect that traffic back to your shop and get people, or you can even say like, hey, the full package is linked in the description. And then people are going to come down here and they're going to be able to click this and go right to that even bigger listing. And then you get an even bigger sale. So this is a great strategy to create coordinating designs and link them in the descriptions of each other. And then adding that listing photo helps even more. Perfect. Terms of views. And then I don't think I saw it, but you definitely always want to copy and paste your titles down into your descriptions to have that title tags and description matching. Let's check this out. Okay, it looks like there's not all 13, and these are all really, really saturated. Like, I don't know about these ones, but these two are definitely very saturated. This is saturated, this is saturated. I don't know about that. So yeah, I would definitely do some SEO research and switch out these tags for something that could perform even better for you. And then also match your tags to your description, your titles. Very cute. Okay. I'm gonna do one more for tonight, and then if I didn't do tonight, then I will again roll over into next week, and then I'm gonna do a Q&A too. I'm sorry. Okay. Hello, Mariana. Okay, let's check this out. So I definitely switched that out to be more SEO friendly. I would put some section titles in here, something SEO friendly as well. Put your incentive offer right here in your announcement bar. And these are really cute. This is the great product to sell sells well, and it's trending right now. Great job having a listing video. Oh, awesome. So she did a screen recording for this one. Love that. Very effective. Okay, cool. All of these look kind of similar. Oh, you switch. Okay, the words at the top are changing. Okay. And I like that you have this, the how to use, how it works and stuff. This is such a powerful listing photo, and it's so easy to put in there next to your listing. We're visual people, right? Like people, you know, as in the age of Instagram and everything, we get more and more lazy about reading stuff. So putting everything visually, like this is going to be consumed way more than like putting in the description ever would be. So having this sort of listing is such an easy way to get more of a listing photo, as well as get information across that's important. Looks good. This is the only one I would say take this one out. This is one of our blacklisted words. We don't use those in our titles and tags, but I think everything else looks really good. Okay, this is a lot of text, so definitely break all of this up. Just people are, like I said, people are just in this day and age are so lazy. Nobody's gonna read this, all this part. So I would definitely switch this out. Only keep to the like high level bullet point, everything important. This is perfect. Perfect, exactly what you need. Perfect, love that. And I like how you did these little icons. Those are awesome. Great having that in there. Love the terms. Great disclaimer. Perfect. The rest of this is awesome. And the only thing I would add is like, hey, put your copy and paste your title down to the bottom of your listing. So I think that's awesome. Yeah, I would just like skip all of this really, really like wordy paragraphs that people will skip over. I think this is awesome. Great job. And we'll do, I only did one in Sale Samurai, so I'll just pull this one too for funsies so you can see that again. So we're going to come in here and paste this. Okay, so here you can see that these are all the tags that are being used. And you can see that these have no monthly search. So these aren't getting any traffic. So those are just ones you can easily knock off. And then let's check over here. And it says that most of them are not being used in matching titles and description. So you always want to match your tags to your title and description the best you can. There is that 20 character limit for tags, so sometimes not everything fits. That's why I just say, hey, the best you can. If you're not sure how your tags are performing, this is kind of an easy way to see right off the bat. And you just paste your listing in and it'll just, bam, do that for you. So that's kind of a cool feature of Sale Samurai. And that one is, I think they do a free trial. I have that one linked in my bio. I know they gave me a coupon code for you guys, but I don't remember what the coupon code is. Or what it was for. I think it was like maybe $15 off. Okay. So thank you, you guys. This is so fun. And I'm going to do some Q&A now. And then if I didn't get to tonight, I'll be rolling over into next week. I think I'm going to start doing it on Thursdays after this. So it'll be next Thursday most likely, unless something comes up, but that's what I'm kind of planning for right now. And if you guys have any other questions after the Q&A, then you can comment on my TikTok videos, and I try to do video replies as often as possible. And then I also have all of my entire like training and tutorial is inside my online course. That's where I video step by step you through everything, and so a lot of questions could be answered inside there. And then for my course members, I have the Facebook group, which is private for just my course members, and that's where I hang out and answer a lot of questions, as well as everybody answers each other's questions, and so it's really fun. So there's some options as well for getting questions answered. All right, let's check this out. Okay. Question is, how can we see the tags like you do at the bottom of the screen? I'm using a Google Chrome plugin called Allura, and it's awesome. I love using it. I really only use it to do shop audits, like on a day-to-day basis for my own shop. I don't really use it, but for like spying on other people's shops, it's really useful. The question is, should the listing photos have SEO titles? Listing photos aren't being read for text, so it doesn't really matter what words you're using on your listing photos, so I wouldn't worry about that. The question is, could you do a video on how to make the animation videos? Yes, I have a couple on my feed, but I haven't done one in a while, so I can add that to my list for this week. The question is, are you using a PC? I'm on an iMac. I'm pretty sure it works the same across any device though. The question is it better to adjust your shipping times instead of putting your shop in vacation mode? Putting your shop in vacation mode is a death sentence. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't know why Etsy does this. And like back when I had my shop that I shipped physical products in, I put it on vacation, and literally, but it was like starting over. Like I went from having like $1,000 months to like $150 months. It's literally like starting over from scratch if you put your shop on vacation mode. So I always, like, instead of putting it on vacation mode, like I'll just like deactivate a listing, or I'll just put in the like listing description or my announcement bar, like, hey, this is the situation, whatever, orders start processing again after such date or whatever, but just never put your shop on vacation mode. Okay. I don't know why they do that. It's lame. I know, it's like, why even have that feature if you're going to penalize us for using it? But if somebody's had a different experience, let me know. Question is, what's good product to start with this time of year? There's a lot of products peaking right now because a lot of people have started like their new resolutions. So like habit trackers are really good right now, planners, chore charts. You know, everyone's their best selves right now, starting new businesses. So like marketing templates, all of that kind of stuff's doing really well right now. My website templates are surprisingly doing really well right now. And anything holiday, so Valentine's Day, you could still get on and do Valentine's Day products, but if you were just getting on now, I would say go to Easter and St. Patrick's Day for doing holiday items. Holiday items perform really well on Etsy, and gift items, anything in those categories does really well. Question is, when do you add watermarks to your listings? I only add them to my listing if I'm putting a photo of the actual item that I don't want people to like right click save. I don't sell anything that needs to be watermarked, so I don't. But if you're selling wall art and you were posting a big picture of the actual wall art, you would want to watermark that so nobody steals it without paying for it. Otherwise, you don't really have much of a need to watermark. Okay. Question is, I heard Etsy, or that's not a question, it's a comment. I heard Etsy uses Hummingbird now for SEO and that we don't need lines. I haven't heard that, and so I'm really curious now, and I'm going to look in deeper into this. Just going off of my own personal experience for my own shops, the using lines has been very effective for me, and from what I've observed from my other students as well. So for now, that still stands my recommendation to use some sort of lines, but I'm going to definitely dive in deeper into that. Question is it too late to launch a shop within the next couple of days and put up Valentine's products? It's not too late, and I honestly, like, if you get on there and do really good SEO, you have a good shot, but I wouldn't say like spending a ton of time making it like 100 Valentine's items would probably be a lot of work with not as much payout, just because it's just going to be over so fast and people are planning ahead. People start shopping for holidays 2 to 3 months in advance. So you can absolutely catch on to those like last minute people getting Valentine's Day, because there's plenty of those as well. So it's definitely not too late to do Valentine's stuff, but I would say do a couple Valentine's items, but then focus on creating them for the next holidays, like St. Patrick's Day, Easter, etc. And if you guys didn't know, so when you go on Etsy and you type in a product, you can see like bestsellers, popular now, etc. And so St. Patrick's items are already popular now and bestsellers. So St. Patrick's items are already selling right now, frequently. And then Easter's as well. So it's a good time. Question is, what are the best digital products to sell? I have a pinned video on TikTok with that list. The question is, heard before that the description isn't scraped for SEO. Is that true? That's not true as far as I have been told, and is in their seller handbook. They just updated their seller handbook this week. I've looked at it a little bit, but not entirely, so it might have changed in the last few days, but as far as I know, it's not. It does matter. Question is, how much does it cost for a full audit? It's $150 and it's application based. So the application's linked in my bio, and you put all your information, and I kind of do like basically kind of what I did now, like a mini audit, and I like evaluate whether or not I think I could provide value to you, and then if I think I'm a good fit for you, then we can move forward. Question is, why are they blacklisted? I have a whole TikTok video about this, just like 3 videos back. Question is there a way to watch it after the live is over? Yes, I'm posting on YouTube. Oh, sorry, that's a thing. Oh, shoot. I clicked on something. Dang it. Hold on. Question is, will the audits only be for digital products? No, I can audit whatever Etsy shop. Not limited to digital products. Sorry, guys. I like hit something and this literally like went all the way down back to the top. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find where I left off. Oh, I'm sorry your shop got shut down. I've been hearing about that more often recently. As somebody commented on one of my TikTok videos saying that people were getting shut down left and right. I've never like had that personal experience, but I know that's been happening a lot. And so I think a couple things, I did a suggestion video earlier, but some things that Etsy said, they want to see your policies filled out. They want to see your bank information to be good, your good email address. You also need to have like as much information filled out, like a profile picture, cover photo, business photo. They want you to be legit. They want to feel like you're legit. So those are some things that you can help. Obviously, like I'm not Etsy, so I can't say like that's gonna guarantee you not getting shut down. But I definitely, if that does happen to you, a lot of people are saying they aren't getting any emails or anything. They just go to log in and it's shut down. If that happens, then you're just going to want to reach out to Etsy. Like they're the only people that can do anything. If you do have a shop that's shut down and then you try to open another shop, that shop will just immediately get shut down as well because it's by your IP address. So if you got a shop shut down, then you're just gonna have to wait for Etsy to appeal it. I know it's so sucky and annoying, and I'm like so sad that happens for you guys. But hopefully that stops whatever's going on with them. Maybe it has to do with them changing their terms of use this week or something. I'm not sure. But hopefully that dies off where it's not happening as frequently, because that's so sad. Question is, how do I enter emojis in descriptions when I'm using my computer? So I have an iMac, so they just are on my computer already. How do you do that when you're not on an iMac? Honestly, I don't know. I only have Apple products, and it's just like part of Apple products. But maybe if you Google, I'm sure if you Google if it was a thing on the other ones, I'm sure there's a way to do it. I would just Google that one because I'm honestly not sure for non-Apple products. I'm so sorry. Is there an easy way to double check you used only free elements in completed templates? So one method that I've used is that I have my pro account. Like I do pay for pro, and then I have another account that I made as like for an example video one time showing people how to create it. So I just have this other account that's just a free account that I don't pay for or anything. And so I'll just go onto another browser with that account and I'll click the link and it'll open up in that one, and I'll just quickly skim through if I have any concerns, and I'll see if it has any pro elements on it on the free one, because if you don't have pro and you go to use something, download something that has pro elements, it'll make you pay. So that's kind of how I test it if I have any concerns. But I just use the little toggle on Canva to filter to only see free elements when I'm designing. So typically I don't ever have to do that. That is a method you could try if you're worried about it. Question is, any tips coming up with a successful shop name? SEO friendly is what I recommend doing, and some people say it doesn't matter. In my opinion, I think it matters, so don't overthink it if that is something that's overwhelming you. You know what I mean? Like, it's more important to just open the shop if that's something that's holding you up, but just think of what you want to sell. Like, for example, what I have up here is budget template, so you could just be like budget template shop. It's not cute necessarily, it's not exciting necessarily, but it's SEO friendly. It has that budget template right in there. We love that. So those are some kind of tips. I recommend doing SEO friendly, but if that's overwhelming for you, oh my gosh, do you guys see that? My lips are all dry now. Then I just name it what you want to name it, and that's totally fine too. You can put SEO in a lot of other places if that's what, okay. Question is, how do I come back from the dead? I went on vacation mode for my wedding. Yes. Oh my gosh, girl, I feel you. I had a baby. I put my shop on vacation mode when I had a baby, and the same thing happened to me. And okay, I gotta be honest with you, that shop never recovered. But I know that people have experienced it recovering. Like, after it died off for me, I got so discouraged that I kind of gave up on it. This was 6 years ago. This is the old shop I had back in like 2013. And I like I said, I just had a baby. The shop like stopped performing, and I just was at that point in my life, I was just kind of like, F it. So I didn't ever keep going back with it after it lost what it was doing before. But I know that other people have like gone back in and like started putting in a ton of new listings. You kind of have to treat it like a new shop, is what I've heard, and just start putting out a ton of new listings, putting in a ton of Pinterest marketing or in social media marketing to try to kind of revive it and be like, hey Etsy, like, we're still here. So the like wives tale is that like when you put it on vacation mode, they're not making money off of your shop. And so then when you put it back on, you basically have to like prove yourself to Etsy again. You're basically starting from zero. That was my experience too. But if you guys have had a different experience, let me know. That's just what I've kind of heard from other sellers and my personal experience. Question is, what's the best way to know if the niche I'm thinking of is a good one or not? So go onto Etsy and type in whatever you're thinking about selling, budget templates, and look and see if there's any bestsellers. So bestsellers or popular now, they're interchangeable. I don't know why Etsy's playing around with them. That means that item is selling right now, currently, frequently selling right now. So that means, hey, this product is selling right now. If I was selling this product too, there's a good chance that it would also be selling right now. If you do a search for something like, I don't know, like dog walk tracker sheet, or I don't even know if that's like a good product or not. So I don't know. But if somebody did search that and there was no bestsellers, no popular now, then I would say that I wouldn't get as many sales right off the bat because nobody's actively searching for this right now. So that's kind of my first indicator when I'm thinking about going into any niches, is I want to go look and see what's best selling. And then if you do a search and there's like one bestseller, then that's kind of a red flag for me too, because I'm like, okay, well, why is there only one bestseller? Does that mean like everybody else is just using social media? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that one bestseller doing really good on Pinterest and that's why they have a bestseller? So I like to see multiple bestsellers / popular nows when I'm thinking about going into a niche. How do we become friends? Girl, we are friends. We're hanging out tonight. Okay. Okay, sorry guys. Dang, I keep doing this. Okay. Okay, so somebody says that it's on your keyboard, vertical line button. Okay. Oh, that's not for the emojis. That's for the line. Okay, sorry. about somebody who's giving me a hack about how to do emojis on the not Mac products. Windows, I guess. So the question is, what size for listing images did you recommend? Do you think it matters? I think the most thing that's important is high resolution. You don't want to be uploading things that are not high resolution. They're not going to look good across all the different screens. So as long as it's high resolution, then I think you're good. I have my preferred dimensions, and I have those listed on the link in my bio, like on my freebie thing. And I also have a lot of videos with it too that I use, and I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. And I use those for all my listings, and I'm happy with it. But again, like as long as it's full resolution, I think it's good. One thing to consider is that like there's going to be people viewing your listing on mobile and desktop. And so sometimes I'll see people do like a really long, like almost like an Instagram story size, like a very vertical listing photo, and it doesn't transfer to desktop very well. So it looks really small and cropped on desktop. And so those listings typically don't get as many clicks on desktop version. Luckily, like 80% of people are on their phones, so it's not usually an issue, but I like to have a listing photo that's better for all devices so I don't lose out on that little traffic. Again, that's just a recommendation, but if high resolution, I think, is the biggest priority. Oh, thanks. Well, this has been so fun, you guys. I'm going to be logging off. Again, I'm going to be doing this again next week. So if you didn't see your shop tonight, it's not because I don't want to do it. It's just because I have to go to bed and I'm so tired. But I will have this list. I have this list ongoing, so I'll keep adding to it as the night goes, or as the submissions come in, and I'm just going to keep doing this until I get through all of them, because I really want to help you guys out. And so again, be sure to follow me and ask any questions in my comments. I also have free guides in my bio, and really thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for 100K. That was a huge goal of mine, and I'm so grateful for you guys. You guys are awesome. So I really hope that this is your year and that you're able to use all these tips and just do awesome on Etsy. So I know you guys can do it. Believe in you guys. This is your year. Oh, and yes, next, I think I'm gonna do it on Thursday next week. So Thursday, 8 p.m. MST. Yeah. You guys have a good night.